Hello, crafty peeps. Welcome back to my channel, Crafty-ish Kristyn. Today, it is time for a whip and chatty rant. What is a whip and chatty rant? You may be asking yourself. WIP, W-I-P, stands for work in progress, and a chatty rant is me chatting and ranting about the goings-on over the past week or so. Today, my whip is this beautiful painting. This is Luann from the artist Hafsa Idris. Either way, I'm probably mispronouncing it, and I apologize. I am horrible with names. And this is actually what it will look like. There were 90 colors, so it came with 2 sticker sheets. Normally, I would not have a sticker sheet with my drills, but because there's 2 and the other's in my logbook, I get to keep this one out and see this adorable little bun friend. Boop. That's right. I did not realize how big the bunny's eye was. Gonna look absolutely stunning. It already does. Look at this. The drills are fitting so snugly. Oh my gosh. I mean, literally there's no gapping even with my light pad, which I very much appreciate. And I have not had any problems so far. There are a few colors that are fairly trashy, but again, it's the darker, you know, here's my trash. It's mainly the navy blues that are really kind of, you know, clogging up the trash hole, but that's okay as long as I have enough. I am not worried about it. What else am I working with? Cat is trying to help. Thanks, Sharky. Great. I have my release papers from Bee's Crafty Corner. I have Mushy's, what do you call it? Her channel paper. Thank you very much. I have some of my Pippy paper. I have our pink and black cats. I have our spilling the tea. I have some other Pippy paper. Care Bears, obviously. And this one is actually from Rokari, and this is the image of one of the canvases she made for pink and black. So this one is available separately from these, and I will have all the links and the info down below. I do have 2 cover minders that were a gift from a subscriber, the cover minder fairy godmother, as I like to call her. And I have 2 pens. Both are from Jim's Handmade Pens on Etsy. This is a Dynamite Diamond Chop 3D printed, what do you call it? Multi-placer. And I think I just maybe shouldn't be allowed to use these because this is cracking right here. And this is the second one I've done it to. I don't know if it's just the way that I push down too hard, or if I'm loading my putty in and I'm pushing too hard, but this is the second one that I've done this to. Yeah. This is an Everlasting Tips. I do love these, but they are expensive, so I only have one. Oh, this is something that's under development, and this is actually a tray that is not available yet, but hopefully soon. This is I'm calling it a big bottom instead of a washy bottom tray. This is the Deep 6 tray from Ephemera 3D, but they are trying to make one that has the little strip at the bottom where your drills pool. And spoiler alert, even though this is a test product, I absolutely love it. And if they don't make this, I will cry. So don't make me cry, please. I have allergies and my eyes are already gooping and stuff. So don't make me cry, Ephemera 3D. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I did put some washi on the bottom because it was a little slippery on my deskage. But if I have to do that in order to get this, sign me up. Sign me up. I think that is it. Let me get zoomed in. Take a drink of my... Somebody drank my last cold Dr. Pepper, and I didn't realize it until right before I started filming. So I am drinking vanilla Coke Zero, which is not horrible, but it's not what I wanted. So I'm going to find out who drank the last Dr. Pepper, and they're going to owe me something big. Although I think it may have actually been me yesterday. I'm still going to blame someone else. So let me get zoomed in and we will get started. Don't go anywhere. I did forget to mention I am using Reid's Putty in this pen, and this pen is for ABs, but I don't think there's any ABs in this section. And this has Joy's Putty, which is on Facebook. Okay, great. Let me get my first color. And before I forget, another thing, I hope everybody is doing awesome, well, and amazing. And if you aren't, I hope that things get better soon, because you are awesome. Yes, you are. You have survived 100% of your hardest, worstest days ever. So you can get through. You can get through anything. We really can. Us humans, we're a resilient species. That is for sure. Let's see. Diamond painting related things. I got a delivery from something I ordered. I ordered a mini kit set from a new to me company. I have seen other people. Excuse me, Care Bear. I'm going to keep bumping into you. There you go. There you go, friend. I have seen other people open kits from this shop. It's the, what is it called? Brains Not Brainin'. Diamond Design Co., I believe. I'm hopefully I'll put up something if it's correct, and if it's not, I'll put the right name up. And that is from Etsy, although I did not really read. I didn't read the fine print, and I didn't realize that it was coming from China, and so I was very confused when I got the tracking, and I was like, what the heck is this? And then I went back and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, my bad. I did not fully read because I was thinking, why is it looking like that? And that's why. It was operator error on my part. Let's see. I finished a row of the rainbow mushroom rainbow confettidocious canvas, or one row of that from the one with the diamond art. Then I did a row of Momoa Vampire, and he is looking fabulous. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I really wanted to keep going, but I said, no. Have some self-control. Work on something else. And then I did finish my paint gem set. Yay. And I will be kitting up a set from the Pretty Little Gems that I got. And then I'm working on a row of this one. And then after a row of this one, I'm going to do some more on the scary canvas swap canvas that Mushy and I did. And, it's not horrible. I'm just pretending that he's not dripping in blood. I'm just pretending like he's covered in red frosting. And that's how I'm getting through that canvas right now. It is coming together quickly when I do work on it. The one thing, though, I noticed, and I don't do a lot of round kits, but I definitely don't like when a canvas has the training wheels, for the round drills, which I'm fine if there's lines, but when, and you can't really tell on a square kit, but for example, let's say on these darker colors right here, if it was dark on the outside, but then the inside circle with the symbol is white, I don't like that at all, because I can't cover that as nicely as I would like to with just my placement. And so I feel like it's really obvious that my drills aren't straight because you can see all these, white guide circles. I know some people love it and they don't have a problem and they can put their drills straight, or even if your drills are crooked and you just don't care. But for me, it's a pet peeve. But it's fine. I'm doing it for the process and to prove to mushy that I can do it. It's not too scary for me. I mean, she was absolutely tortured with the cute and cuddly canvas that I sent her. So it's payoff, you know, it's payback, it's payoff. It's fine. I know lots of you have appreciated watching the torturing of each other unfold, you know, so we're just doing it for you guys, right? It's all for the greater good of the community. If we can help distract you and get your mind off of maybe stressful things, then it's all worth it. The torture is worth it. So we are wrapping up the end of the school year. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, it's pretty much over. Like, there's still a few little things, but for the most part, learning and turning things in is officially over. Thank you, baby Jesus, because it's not even me, and I am mentally done with the situation. Let's see. So there was a barbecue at the teenagers' school, and it's a smaller private school, so it's not, you know, like a full-blown, you know, 3,000 person high school, thank goodness. But there was a barbecue for the end of the year, and one of his friends, his mom was going to go, and I was like, well, if you're going, I'll go if you're going, you know, because I want to know somebody, I want to have somebody to sit with, etc., etc. And so we kind of made a pact, you know, like we both were going to go. Well, she wasn't feeling well, and she forgot to tell me that she was not going. And so I show up at the school, and the parking lot is, you know, full and crowded. And I said, hey, where are you? And she's like, oh my gosh, I forgot to text you. I was like, what? No. You know, but it was fine. She's like, I just didn't feel good. So I went home after the awards assembly. And I said, okay, not a problem. So I stayed in my car for a few extra minutes. And then I went inside, and it was just packed with people, packed with students, packed with adults, very loud. It was very warm outside, and it was very warm inside this very, very peoply filled, like kind of dining hall-esque place. And I started looking around, and, you know, I'm not really recognizing anybody, and it's very loud and very overstimulating. And I was like, okay, I can do this, right? You know, I'm a big girl. I can do it. Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I found the teenager, and I said, I am just going to go wait in my car. Because the food, there was a huge line for the food, and I was like, no, I know, I'm good. And so he said, yeah, I'm, you know, gonna, you know, hang out and whatever. And I said, just text me when you're done. You know, I did bring my Paint Jam Minis in the car with like a little clipboard and stuff. So I figured if two peopled out or whatever, I could go back to the car. And I'm glad I had those. And I was like, well, I might as well grab, you know, maybe a bag of chips or something to bring with me in the car, since I was not feeling the food line. And they had, you know, mini bags of chips, and they had already run out of soda, which I was gonna bring myself a soda, and I didn't, and I was really regretting that choice. So I did get a nice bottle of water. Yay, delicious. You know, when you want a soda and you're offered a bottle of water, it's just, you know, it is what it is. He said all the middle schoolers apparently stole all the soda, and they took it all. They were taking like 2 and 3 at a time. I'm like, well, that was rude, because what about us people who would like a soda? Anyways, I was resigned to sitting in my car for, you know, 2 hours. But in a surprise turn of events, I was chatting with Mush Mush, And he texted me and he said, I'm done. Can we leave early? And I said, absolutely we can. And so he had to turn in something, and I made sure he asked in the office to make sure that I didn't need to sign him out. And they were like, yeah, no, you're good. You can just leave. So we got to go home early. That was a surprise. I was very happy because I thought he was going to make me stay all day. But he said, yeah, after I ate, I was just kind of like, oh, don't want to be here anymore. And I said, well, that's how I felt. So perfect. Plus, I secretly think he wanted to come home so he could play the new Nintendo. Again, not judging, because I wanted to come home in diamond paint. So it all worked out. But man, that was, I could hear the people inside the dining room before I saw them, and I knew it wasn't going to be good. If I would have known, somebody and felt like I had somebody to sit with, it would have been bearable, but no. I'm just not in the mood to kind of sit by myself or sit at a table with people and kind of, sometimes you just kind of feel like you're a third or a fourth wheel in a conversation. You're just sitting there and other people all know each other and they're all, sharing life updates and whatnot. Yeah. I was not in a headspace to pretend to do that. Nope. Sassy Lassie has been under some grounding, and so things have been a little bit different around the house, as not really able to play games on the iPad and whatnot. Hard lesson to learn, but actions. I feel like adults could also learn this too. Actions have consequences. And when you fluff around, sometimes you find out that sometimes things don't go the way you plan. And I remember being a kid and my friends all wanting to do something and me knowing that it was not a good idea, but going along with it. And when you do that, you run the risk of getting caught and getting in trouble. I am just grateful that, when the I almost said the suspects, but kind of, nothing bad happened. It was there were some scary moments for everybody. But still, yeah, so groundation is going on, but we had already planned to go see the Lilo and Stitch movie as a family. So we did still do that. And it was, I went in with very, very low expectations, just because, live action movies of a cartoon are normally not my thing. And I personally just, I'm a purist and I want to see the cartoon version, not real people in a setting that was a cartoon, if that makes sense. It's not my thing. But I was hopeful, right? Because I'd seen the trailers and stuff, and it looked like, at least visually, Stitch looked good, because they could have made him look really weird. And it was okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything for anybody if you haven't seen it. I mean, they did change some things, which they kind of have to do, but it was okay. My husband brought up a really good point. He said, I feel like the story was so much more focused on the older sister, which is understandable because in the real world, the adult has to, take on the burdens and take care of people, etc., etc. But it's almost like you wanted to see more of the Lilo and the Stitch, the namesakes of the movie. So it was okay. But Would I go to the theater and watch it again? No. I don't even know if I would really want to watch it on my TV at home. I don't know. I'm usually not a let's watch that again kind of person unless it's a very specific movie. So, I don't know. There were a few times where, and I don't know if I'm just, with high anxiety with the end of the school year. I don't know if I'm just oversensitive, but there were definitely a few times where I teared up a little more than normally I think I probably would have. Yeah, but we did stop at the little mini mart down the street before, and I brought my backpack, so we didn't have to spend a small fortune on candy and soda. It's bad enough. Four tickets for a movie cost me $60 plus an $8, what was it? An $8 booking fee. Come on. It is not costing you $8 for me to book my movie tickets on my phone. Just get out. Get the frick out. They don't even make it easy for you because when we got to the theater, they don't have the people outside the movie theater, at least around us. You know how when back in the olden days, you used to have to go wait in line and buy your tickets there. There's nobody outside before you go into the movie theater selling tickets anymore. So you literally have to go in and you would have to stand in line at the concession stand to buy your tickets. Okay. So I don't like that. I feel like if anything, they should be giving me a discount for doing it online because I'm saving that person inside extra work. A computer is literally doing the work. But, then again, nobody asked me, what do I know? I'm just a dumb old stay-at-home mom at home trying to save myself $8. $8! Come on. That's more expensive than Washington State's sales tax. We got 10% sales tax and they're trying to raise it up even more. Just stop. Just freaking stop. But we did get popcorn, because everybody wants popcorn. You can't really buy that beforehand and sneak it in with your backpack. It doesn't taste the same. So Lilo and Stitch was done, and then because of the grounding, not a ton of things electronically that can be done, but we were allowing movies at home, and so naturally she wanted to watch movies. So the husband and I, we, took one for the team and let her pick some movies, and I am glad I had some things to do with my hands, because I'm sure a lot of us are like this, where you kind of feel like I can't just sit and watch a movie, or I can't just sit and watch TV. I want to do something with my hands. So I am very grateful for the mini kits for that, because I'm able to sit on the couch and diamond paint that way. Although I really would like to be working on one of my ginormous kits, but a mini kit is better than nothing. So she chose, what did she choose? She chose the Wild Robot, which I have never seen before. And that was another movie that made me get all leaky in the eyes. Ooh, goodness. It was a leaky eye day, let me tell you. And then after that one, she decided she wanted to watch another movie. And I was like, oh, geez, okay. I was a little overstimulated at that point with a movie theater movie and then another movie. And yeah. So we were, I think we went on to Amazon and Coraline came up. And she's like, what's that? And my husband's like, oh, let's watch that. I was like, could we not? That one creeps me out. Now, it's been a few years since I've watched Coraline, but I remember being creeped out by it. And so, of course, me saying that, they both wanted to watch it even more. Like, fine, whatever, fine. So we watched that one, and I that movie was even more disturbing than I remembered. I don't know how that movie is PG. I really don't. Because I had the heebie-jeebies after watching that movie. I did not like it. I was not a fan. Something about the button eyes and just kind of the really like creepy way the people are trying to, you know, lure the little girl into the other world. I don't know. I felt very uneasy after watching that. And then there's the one scene where the neighbors who are like the retired, I don't know, circus people, the one lady is wearing some costume and there was not much of her body covered by that costume. And I kept saying, this is PG? Are we sure it's PG? Because, woo, yeah. It's going to be burned in my retinas for a while, I think. Yeah, so it was a very movie heavy weekend. That is for sure. To also fill the time of, you know, free time, because, you know, not allowed to go hang out with people and etc. We did some baking. I had some bananas that were practically liquefying on the countertop. So we made some banana muffins, and I was trying to find a healthier recipe. We have that, what do you call it? Kodiak cake, the Kodiak pancake mix. You can get it at Costco and all sorts of places where it has a little bit more protein. So it's healthier for you. And I wanted to try to use that to make some muffins. And I found a recipe, and because my brain was a little overstimulated, I wasn't really paying attention to the ingredient list. And, you know, I was like, oh, this doesn't have much sugar in it. And so, you know, we're making it, and I'm not even really thinking about that. And, you know, we got all the ingredients. Thank goodness we add chocolate chips. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how boring they would have tasted without the chocolate chips. And we let them cool, we bit into them, and it tasted like nothing. It literally tasted like you could not taste banana. You could barely taste the chocolate chips. It tasted like you were eating pancake mix that had no flavor. And so I think because it called for, what was it? Of course we doubled it. So we had extra muffins. So for a single batch of muffins, it would have called for 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, which is not a ton of sweetness for 12 muffins. If we tried it again, I definitely would add some sugar or something, because it was not enough. You know, you want people to eat the things that you cook, right? You want people to eat the healthy muffins. But if they taste like healthier muffins and they taste like nothing, people aren't going to eat them, and they're just going to throw them in the garbage. So, yeah. Lesson learned. Sassy Lassie liked them, and that is all that matters, really, because she was the one that wanted to do it. But baking mistake on my part for not really looking at that recipe and going, I don't think that is going to be as palatable as it could be. One thing I have noticed with this kit is some of the regular drill colors, and you're not going to be able to see it. I know you're not. No. Some of the regular drill colors, they almost give off a fairy dust vibe. You can't see it just because of the way the lights are, but this color and like 3 others, they are just a little bit more shimmery than regular drills. And I don't know if that's some kind of happy accident. I'm not complaining because they are absolutely beautiful. I mean, the regular drills are super, super shiny and sparkly. So this just gives them an even more of a sparkly advantage, in my opinion. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention that if you do want to get something from Diamond Art Studio UK, you can use my code Crafty-ish10 for 10% off of your order. I forgot to mention that. Bad YouTuber. Maybe editing Kristyn will put up something on that, intro part where I'm talking about the kit. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. I did forget that literally yesterday, I did order, because they got some restocks and stuff. I did order one of the Chart to Art kits, which are, from what I've seen, looks like a really, really good way to try out a cross-stitch conversion without having to do all of the prep work that you would have to do if you were trying to get all the supplies yourself. And so I did get my first Chart to Art and a super, super cute cat kit. Oh, there were so many I wanted, but I'm trying to, be responsible. So I only got 2 things, but again, Crafty-ish 10, and you can save 10%. And any points that I accumulate from people using that code, I will be doing a giveaway for a Diamond Art Studio UK painting when I get enough to cover the cost of that, as a little thank you. So I think, yes, like I said before, we're pretty much done with school. Oh my gosh, we had the last, teenager had the kind of his last day of school, but one teacher is doing phone finals, okay? So basically, the teacher is calling the students. They have to sign up, and he's calling them to do the final over the phone. And it kept getting put off, and it kept getting put off. And as a parent who worries about things, I'm like, when is that going to get scheduled? I don't know. When is it going to get scheduled? I don't know. I don't know when it comes to something involving a final grade. That's not an answer I want to hear. So finally, the final got scheduled. And it was for 2 days after the last day of school. I said, "Are you joking me?" And he said, "Well, that's when I could sign up." Apparently, they have until a few days after the end of school to get their final grades in. But just like, no, I thought we were done on this day, and now we have to wait 2 more days. Last night, had the phone final, and he did learn from a few of his friends that the phone final was about an hour and a half to 2 hours long. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Come on. Fine, whatever. Just get it done. That was me. Just get it done. But it went good. Good, great, grand. So, teenager is officially done. Sassy Lassie has another, let's see, as time of filming, another day-ish of school, and then, then pretty much done with that. But oh my goodness, I was like, I need to be done. I need my mental health needs you to be done with school. I can't be worrying about all this little stuff every day. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. And I know, it's exhausting for the kids too. But on the the last day of in-person school, I did volunteer, which I'm a sucker for torture, right? But the things we do for our kids, we have to step out of our comfort zones and do them. So I did volunteer to take teenager and a few friends from school out to lunch, and then they wanted to come back here to play Mario Kart and video games and stuff like that. And I said, okay, fine, Well, what started off as one person became two, and then it became three, and then it became four. And I knew it was going to be 3 people coming over the morning of the last day, because we were at school and I was talking to my friend there, and he texted me from school, which this is how I know it's the last day of school, because they're not supposed to have their phones out, but apparently they could just use their phones the last day. And he said, can blah, blah, blah come too? He wants to come. And I said, are you sure he wants to come? Because he's kind of, one of his friends, he was just getting over being sick. And he's like, yeah. And so I was talking to his mom and I said, well, I guess your kid's coming home with me. She's like, oh, okay. And I said, yep. So I knew that one, but I was at home and I was just kind of waiting, because the last day is a half day. So, they're only there a few hours anyways. And he texts me and he says, okay, can this other person come to lunch? I was like, yes, they can come to lunch. Can you drive her? I'm like, yes, I can do that. I'm like, does she need a ride home? He's like, I don't know. I said, we should find that out. But I guess she didn't want to come back and play video games, which was probably for the best, realistically, because there's only 4 controllers. And then when you have 5 people trying to take turns and play video games, it's just, the more people you invite, the more chaotic and confusing things could be. So I picked them up and took them to Red Robin after school. One friend was meeting us there because she doesn't go to the school anymore. And so I waited for her mom and her while they all went and sat down. And so we kind of agreed on, like, she was going to come back, blah, 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 pick up, blah, blah, blah. Because, she's like, I just wanted to make sure that you knew what you were getting into, because you try to let these kids plan things. They give the parents 0 information. And I said, yeah, I kind of knew, but I knew it would change 5 times. And it has. They went and, ate, and not wanting to listen to the teenagers talk, and also not really wanting to, be like, hey guys, I'm a cool parent. Can I come sit with you? Was like, I'll go sit in the bar. Now, I wasn't drinking in the bar. Might have made the afternoon go faster, but if I had a drink, I don't know if I'd be able to drive home, and that would not be the responsible thing to do. So I had myself a little glass of water. Whew, party time. So they were sitting in the area over there, and I was in the bar, and the poor bartender lady, she was all alone. And she's like, it wasn't even that busy. I don't know if they were just understaffed in general. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I'll be right there. I was like, don't even worry, ma'am. Like, I am chill. So I'm cool. I got my AirPods. I got my phone. I got a full battery. I can just sit here and watch crap on my phone as long as I need to. So she came over, and I was going to get something for my mom to go when I was leaving, just because, so then she had a little, Red Robin food too. And I said, I want to order a kid's meal to go, because my mom doesn't eat that much, and why order a full-size order when I can order a kid's meal? I said, but can I have the drink from the kids' meal myself while I'm sitting here? And she's like, yeah, sure. Well, I wanted a milkshake, because last day of school, I'm going to splurge too. But I was like, can I get, a kid-sized milkshake? And they had a chocolate pretzel milkshake, and that just looked really good. And she said, yeah, you know, I have to charge you a little bit extra, but, you know, I can do that. And I was like, that's fine. So I ordered that, and I ordered a salad, and she came back, and it was the full-size milkshake. And I don't know if I'm lactose intolerant, but I'm lactose sensitive. So even the small milkshake could have been pushing it. And when she plopped that full-size milkshake down in front of me, as well as the, you know, the extra cup, basically, the second milkshake serving, I was like, oh my gosh. She goes, I'm sorry, they made a full-size one, but I won't charge you for it. And I said, okay. You know, so then you kind of have that, I mean, you have that guilt of you don't want to waste food, right? And the, you know, the side of me that really likes sugar and sweets and desserts really wanted to drink all of that milkshake, you know, because I love sugar. It is my favorite food group, and I am not ashamed to admit it. But I was like, if I drink that whole milkshake, it's not going to be pleasant for anybody in the car or at home, because I don't know what my body will do, and I don't really want to be, you know, tooting and stuck in the bathroom. Yeah, so I drank some, didn't drink it all, and I paid for their foodage when they were done, and we went, am I doing the right? Yeah, I am. Oops, I almost say, I saw a little A, but it's fine. Paid for them, and, you know, made sure to ask the waiter that was helping them. You know, I said, are they being respectful? Are they being okay? They're not acting up. Let me know. And he was like, oh no, they're fine. I was like, okay, good, because I'll go over there and I'll yell at them. No problem. So then the one girl got picked up, and then the rest of them came back to the house and played Nintendo, all the jazz. You know, they're all really good kids. I mean, I don't think he has any friends that are technically trouble. Oh man, but it was so loud. It was so loud. The TV was loud, and I was upstairs, and I didn't have any mini kits left because I finished the Paint Jam Mini, and I hadn't kitted up a new set. And my diamond painting area is down in the living room where everybody was. And I was like, I can't go down there and work on my diamond painting while they're all, you know, blowing things up and stuff. But man, I really wanted the diamond paint. I missed all those. My gosh. So, but it was good. They all had fun, and by the time everybody left, I was like, okay, I'm done. It's loud. I need some quiet. I need some quiet. Oh, and Sassy Lassie's class did have they had a field trip to the, you know, pioneer town, village, whatever you want to call it. So apparently that was super, super fun and awesome. And they learned how to churn butter. So now we have, you know, butter churning homesteading expert in the house, which is great, because the prices things are nowadays, we may have to start, you know, finding local cows and making our own butter and maybe even our own clothes. But apparently it was fun. I feel like I saw a meme, and it was saying, you know, kids field trips like that, like going to the, you know, farm country, the homestead, pioneer village type stuff. They're totally wasted on kids, because most kids don't want to go and learn about that stuff. But us adults, you know, we want to go somewhere, and we want to learn about things and sit back and read the descriptions and really take it in. But we don't really get to do that. And these kids who get to do it are probably going and being like, oh, this is so lame. This is so boring. So yeah, I need a day. I need a day of nothing. Like, I really just need a day of sitting around and doing absolutely nothing, or whatever I want to do. I feel like the last 3 weeks have been nothing but non-stop stuff. And then I had to go to urgent care on Monday because I have this little like bump in my throat and it was kind of swollen and stuff. And so I went there and then they recommended that I go see an ear, nose, and throat doctor, which, okay, fine. But they're like, yeah, it's going to be months. It's going to be months. I said, well, of course it is. Well, the ear, nose, and throat doctor could get me in 2 days later because they had a cancellation. So cram that into this week as well. I did that yesterday, and that was, you know, basically a 5-minute thing of, yeah, why don't you go get a CT scan and we'll see what it is. I'm like, okay, great. And so they, you know, they said, we'll have them call you. Well, they said it'll probably be a week. Well, they called me today, which is the next day, and they had a cancellation for next Monday. I was like, what? Yeah, so literally, like all these appointments that should be taking forever under normal circumstances are just getting all crammed into, you know, a very short time, which is good when you actually want to find out, you know, what the heck something is. But when you're just like, I just want a break, but you kind of feel like you shouldn't pass up that appointment just because you don't want, you know, to, oh, well, the next appointment's in 4 months. So, well, you better take the appointment. But yeah. So it's been a week. It's been a week and it will, oh, yikes. Trash drills. Where do you think you're going? Oh, but yeah, look at that. I finished my section. We are getting the bunnies. What do you call it? What's this thing right here? His chest. The bunny chest. The bunny. Yeah, right there. See? We're right there. We're right there. Look at that. So cute. All righty. Well, I finished my section. We are getting, we're getting the bunny. We're getting the bunny. I'm so excited. I mean, everything in this painting is beautiful, but I mean, come on. The bunny is the star of the show. Let's be real. These flowers, they kind of almost look like jellyfish. Like that one is giving me major jellyfish vibes. And I'm not mad about it. I am so excited to see how this turns out. The detail is so good. And like I said before, they are fitting together perfectly. And it's that satisfactory feel when you run your hand on it. There's no weird uneven drills. Your hand isn't getting caught on anything. It's just nice and smooth. It's so smooth. Oh my gosh, love it, love it, love it. So that is going to be it for me today, guys. If you have not, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, hearting, farting, doing all the things. And I will see you guys again very, very soon. Big awkward hugs. Bye, guys. Kitties, are you good? Are you good? Okay, what? Duncan, you can't get into the fireplace, dude. Stop. They're gonna drive me insane. Oh, here's the throat clearing. You did not put some of those drills down, lady. Okay, chair, could you not be squeaky while I'm sitting in you so people don't think I'm farting? Need to be able to see. As always, edit the burp. Again, edit the burp. How many interruptions am I going to get today? I don't know. I'm going to say a gajillion. A gajillion. My God. Oh, people. Ooh. Oh, Coke Zero. You're not Dr. Pepper. You're not Dr. Pepper. You're so cute. Oh, everybody needs a nose boop. 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 It works.